Hello everybody and welcome back to Streamatrix. My name is Neil and you're back watching hopefully your future favorite football channel. And today we're back with another live stream, and this is going to be hopefully an interesting one as well, wherein we're going to discuss about the beautiful mediocre performance between Aston Villa and Manchester United, and how well or how bad Manchester United performed today. And post that we are going to be also looking at how the match actually went, post our reaction. We're going to look at how the match actually went, just a bit of a play-by-play. We will look at the player ratings as well, and overall we will also be rating the manager towards the end, and look at where Manchester United are when we look at Premier League table. It's not really something that we are that is sort of to be proud of, the performance today, but I'm going to get into it. Usually on my channel, if you look back, I used to do both the streams together, which is the reaction and then followed by my FC25 career mode. I used to do both of them in one stream, but I've decided to split it up on YouTube, and we are going to be doing first the stream about the reaction, and then we are going to move forward to our FC25 career mode as well, where hopefully we can keep the Manchester United's champion hopes alive, not championship, because in real life we are looking like we are heading to the championship maybe, but in FC25 we would love to have Manchester United win trophies and maybe win the Premier League eventually, right? So yeah, I mean, anyways, that's coming up later. So if you are an FC25 fan, you can look out for that towards the end in the next stream. But this is going to be containing just about the discussion between Villa and Manchester United, and how our teams fared and how we are looking. I mean, what is my my generic reaction, and then what is my overall reaction as well. 1 second, please. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so hopefully that wears off as and when I speak. I thought I would come up live a bit more earlier and maybe just like share my thoughts, but I thought I just like, you know what, I'll step back, I'll just look at the game again and just take my notes on it, because oh boy, this result was something that really surprised me. But any which ways, we are going to look back at it, and if you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel below, because we come up with football content. It's related more to Manchester United every week, twice, and one on the midweek and one over the weekend. So if you want to just engage, you can feel free to come down in the chat and have a quick chat below as well. If you're a Manchester United fan, feel free to come below and let us know your opinion, or if you're any Premier League fan as well, let me know how your teams performed over the weekend. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started about the match reaction between Villa and Manchester United. Okay, so Villa and Manchester United. I did not do a preview for this on my channel. I thought that again, I honestly thought that this game is going to be a defining moment for Erik ten Hag and the team. Not just this game, even the Porto game as well. And I was very visibly disappointed in my reaction as well. And I think Porto's the last three games, Tottenham, Porto, and Villa, there just seems to be something off with the team. Like, for some reason, the team has decided that they are not going to be looking at where the team stands in the league and just perform the way they wish to perform. Overall, I felt, if I give my overall reaction and just sum it up before going into the detailed match facts, I personally felt that the team selection was not entirely up to the mark. I think I know why Ten Hag benched Martinez and De Ligt from the start and played Maguire and Evans, because Martinez and De Ligt did put in average performances against Porto and Spurs. And for some reason there seemed to be a bit of a disconnect when it came to defending our goal line. So I think I understand why Ten Hag might have dropped both of them and selected Maguire and Evans, but I really don't think that was needed to an extent, because in my opinion, De Ligt and Martinez are much better defenders than Maguire and Evans. So when you are benching your best defenders and you're starting with the team which is on the back foot, then it just takes away from the essence of winning the game. Because in my opinion, Aston Villa put up sort of a B team because of their midweek fixture against Bayern, in which they won against Bayern as well, and that took away a lot from their players, both mentally, physically. They are suffering with a few injuries as well. Today as well, a couple of players got injured. Tyrone Mings was on the ground, I think, but beyond him, I think Edric Konsa got injured while playing the match. So I personally feel when Villa are fielding a bit of a B team, if you are a team on the attack, you can make the most of that particular situation. And no matter what people say or tend to say, I personally feel Ten Hag should have chosen Martinez and De Ligt as our centre-back pairing even today. If you wanted to rotate a player, you might have played Maguire and either of the two, either Martinez or Martinez or De Ligt. But again, I'm going to come to the injuries later on. But then again, in my opinion, the starting 11 should have been in the back four: Dalot, Mazraoui, Martinez, and De Ligt. The midfield, I personally felt, having Eriksen and Meno in the midfield, you lack a lot of physicality. You will lack tenacity, you will lack physicality, you will lack the ability to keep a hold of the ball and keep a hold of the midfield. And there were so many times that Villa just passed through the midfield with no flying tackles or no interceptions by our midfield players. And that's only expected if you have so playing Eriksen and Bruno is like playing two number 10s, but you're asking one number 10 to do a number 8 job. So it really doesn't like fit the mold. And I have no idea why in the last couple of matches Ugarte was not used at all. Like not even for like the second half, or not even for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Last two matches Ugarte did not come off the bench, and he's a player that Ten Hag bought this season with £60 million. So I have no idea what is going on with Ugarte in this particular team structure, because if he can't get into the midfield when Eriksen is playing, then I don't know how Ugarte will be used, and what is Ten Hag's view about Ugarte in the first place. So I felt that if you are going with the rotation, Ugarte and Meno should have been our two in our number 8 and number 6 position, and Bruno should have been in our number 10 position. But anyways, coming to the forwards, I think that was pretty fair. Rashford, I wanted him to play and start, and Garnacho as well, and Højlund up front. Yeah, so I think we got at least the frontline line. But our backbone, if our backbone is not strong, our front line will not be able to do much about it any which way. So what I mean by that, I'm going to come to it any which ways. So overall, I think we started wrong with this team selection, and then post that, the way we started the game and the way we continued, it felt like Villa and us both have played a midweek game wherein we have lost all our energy and will to perform. Whereas in Porto, I didn't even feel like our performance was up to the level. But I feel that Villa's lethargicness could have been excused. But again, then if Villa is looking for a top 4 position, they cannot take these games lightly. So I feel like Manchester United would feel maybe as a victory that they won. They came back with a point, and hence comes the celebrating mediocrity with Manchester United right now, because our fans and us are looking to be comfortable with celebrating a draw, because at least we get a point from them and we are not losing the game. I am dreading to look back at our past 5 games, because I think as far as I know, it's loss, draw, and a loss, draw, whatever. Like, we've not won a single match in our last 5 matches, I don't think. And that is where comes the term of the mediocre level performance, because I think if I sum it up, today's performance was mediocre. It was a snooze fest. I put it up on my Twitter as well, on X, that it was a snooze fest. And neither of the teams could give us any action. Manchester United, I thought, should have come into this match wanting to win, but it looked like we came into this match wanting to get a point, and we are playing like a mid-table team. We are playing like a Nottingham Forest would play, for example, wherein we are okay getting a point against Villa because it's going to be a difficult game. Like, there is no zeal, there is no want, there is no there's no ambition to go and get the ball and create something with it. But any which ways, that's my overall picture. Nothing much happened in this particular match. If you're either of the team's fans and you have missed the match, you've missed nothing really, because overall it was just a mediocre performance altogether. So yeah, that's about the match. Let's look at the play-by-play if there is anything, any action to even look at in the first place. So right, so okay, the first 3 minutes Eriksson gets booked. Another thing about this match, I think the ref was completely off the charts. I think he couldn't get his cards out quicker when it came to Manchester United fouls. And in these, all the yellow cards, we got 5 yellow cards, as you can see. Starting with Eriksson, then Maguire, then Mainoo, then Rashford, and then Lindelof. And out of these 5, I think Eriksson's and Mainoo's were not even a yellow card, because that was the first tackle that Eriksson had made. Yes, he had put his foot out, but that was not a malicious tackle. It wasn't a tackle to injure the player. It could have been let off with a warning, because it's just the game had just started. And post that, Harry Maguire, he had to take the foul because he did a bad tackle and then he went and argued with the ref, so he got a booking, so that's okay. And then when it came to Mainoo, he, in my opinion, got the ball, but even then he got the ball, but also he got the yellow card for some reason. Like I think the Villa player just dived very, very soon, and there was no need for him to dive as well. There was not that much amount of a contact between Mainoo and the player. So I feel that that was just a misread by the ref. But overall I don't think the refereeing was that good. But when you come to the play-by-play, as you can see, there's nothing that really much happened. Eriksson got booked, then Konsa got injured, so Diego Carlos came along. Harry Maguire was there. We will look at the passing and the stats, etc. Just in a couple of seconds. And then what happens is that we were close to the end of the first half. Maguire gets injured, and he was just limping off the field. So he must have pulled his hamstring or something must have happened. And then any which ways, Dillet has to come on in the second half. And I think Mazraoui also, there must have been some issue with him, because he also was taken off in the second half, and Lindelof played as the right back. So yeah, I don't know what exactly happened with Mazraoui. I didn't get a chance to catch up with X about that. But yeah, overall I feel Dillet should have been starting in the first place any which ways. But yeah, anyways, post that Marcus Rashford does some silly tackles, gets booked. Then there are a few substitutions on board, but the substitutions also don't change much, to be honest. And yeah, that's how the match finished. Like none of, like, if I look at this timeline as well, none of these teams came even close to scoring a goal. I think Villa tried a couple of times, but even they lacked any attacking threat, and so did Manchester United. I don't think either of the team looked to even scoring a goal altogether. So yeah, I think both of these teams took it very lethargically, very average, mediocre level. So yeah, that's the play-by-play. But let's quickly look at the match report first, which is the match stats as to how the match went. So yeah, with Villa and Manchester United, again, Manchester United did try to press from the front at the beginning of the match, but after that it was just there was no zeal altogether. But yeah, if you look at the total shots attempted, so it's pretty much equal. Villa attempted 11, we attempted 10. From open play they had 7, we had 5. From set piece it was the same. Counter-attacking, we had 1, they had none, and then there was no penalty and no own goal scored. Total shots, that's 11 to 10, and there's 0% conversion because none of the shots were converted any which ways. If you look at the passing between both the teams, Villa had 435, we had 369. They had more crosses than us. We had more long balls than them, and short passes are somewhat the same. Again, the pass accuracy is not that different as well. So yeah, I just think that it was, if you look at these stats on paper, it is very much on the even, and that is what is reflecting in the scoreline as well. There was not much activity, there was not much enthusiasm, there was not much aggressiveness on the field. There was no sense of ownership to play and try to win the match. I think both the teams were just trying to get a draw and move on. But anyways, when we come to the card situations, we have had 5 and they had 1. Like Villa were doing some, Matty Cash for example did a couple of fouls back to back and he was not booked for some reason. So yeah, Villa I think escaped a lot of cards there. I think we got a lot more cards. A couple of them, like I mentioned before, were not really yellow cards, especially Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the stats. If we look at the attacking zones, if you see Villa and United both like to play through the wings. They both like to get their wingers up and running against on the sidelines, and then whip a cross in if possible. For in the case of Manchester United, the wingers usually tend to cut back in and take a shot. But yeah, that's basically the attacking sides for both the teams put together. Now, if you look at the short directions, this is where it becomes a little more interesting. If you see, Villa's attacking was a lot more short directions from where the shots had taken place, were a lot more cohesive. It felt like they were trying to attack from all regions. But if you look at Manchester United side, it was heavily influenced from the left, which is Rashford. And I think Rashford and Haaland were naturally tending to go towards the left and then shoot from there. From our right side, the attacking was non-existent. Garnacho tried to take a couple of shots, and I think when Anthony came on, he tried to take a shot from a long distance. But other than that, there was like really no threat from the right-hand side. So what this does is that this allows the team to just adjust their team accordingly and defend the side, because initially Marcus Rashford was sort of getting the room to run at defenders from the left. But once they figured out that that's the attacking play that Manchester United are going to go ahead with, Marcus Rashford, Aston Villa just sort of organized themselves to double up against Rashford, and then he was nullified to a greater extent. The fullback overlapping and everything was happening more on the left than the right. So that's what this represents as well. Now, if you look at the shot zones for Villa, 55% of the shots came from inside the 18 yards, and nothing from inside the 6 yards, and 45% from outside. For us, 60% came from outside the 18 yards box, and then 40% came from inside the 18 yards, and nothing from 6 yards. So neither of the teams were able to work the ball into the box, but comparatively Villa would have had better chances because they were able to do more of the shots from inside the box than from outside the box. So yeah, that's what we can take from this particular play. And then action zones, of course, midfield will be the highest action zone, because that's where majority of the ball was being played, and this is the average player position. As you can see, Villa was really trying to stretch Manchester United, and United were more compact. But overall, I did not know what today's game plan was by Ten Hag. Was it to really go out there and get a point and then just forget about this game and think about the future? Because in my opinion, these two games, Porto and Villa, would have decided his future at Manchester United, right? And looks like he might be staying, or he might be continuing, or whatever it is. Whatever is the decision with Ten Hag. For me, as a Manchester United fan, it is not about if Ten Hag stays or goes. I'm not about the Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out campaign. I'm more about Manchester United winning campaign. Like, we forget about challenging for the title. Even if you look at the reality, I can understand that challenging the title may not be in our cards in this particular season, but we should be challenging for the top 4. And if you look at the table, I'm going to pull up the table in a bit. We are nowhere near top 4. We are nowhere near the points needed to be in the top 4. Leave top 4. We are nowhere near top 6. The points needed to be in the top 6. So yeah, we're going to look at the table in a bit. But yeah, any which way. So that's the play-by-play stats. And if we come to the match center again, wherein we will just look at the player ratings next, because overall, I think if I had to give a blanket rating for our performance, this would be an average 6. Overall, the team average 6. Nobody did too bad. Nobody did too good. It almost felt like we played because we just had to play, and that's it. That's where it ended. So yeah, I think overall, I'm not very impressed with the performance today, as you can make out by my expressions or what I'm saying. But yeah, anyways, coming to the player ratings. So this is how the ratings is there given on the Who Scored platform. So if I start with the main man of the hour of the game, which is Johnny Evans, 36 years old, who just signed a contract extension, because I think he will take up maybe a coaching job at Manchester United maybe post this. But yeah, I think Johnny Evans getting the man of the match for this game was really reflective of how utterly disappointing and mediocre this game was, because out of everybody he got the man of the match towards the end. Again, he played well. This is nothing to slander Johnny Evans. He is a good servant of the club. He just is a good professional. He didn't put his foot down wrong in any way whatsoever. He was just steady at the back, put in the tackles, put in the clearances, blocks, everything. So yeah, I think overall Johnny Evans had he had the man of the match performance apparently, but that's how Manchester United are playing these days. So yeah, anyways, Johnny Evans was 7.5. If I would have rated Johnny Evans, I would have rated him a 6.5 because he will get the most amount of rating from me. Okay, now let's move back to Onana. Onana did a couple of saves, which a few shots from outside the box. I think Tielemans had a rocket shot which came towards Onana from outside the box and he saved that. It was not a difficult save, I don't think, but again, he made the save that he needed to make. So overall, I think I would give Onana a 6.5 as well. So Onana and Johnny Evans, according to me, are 6.5. Dalot had an average game. He didn't impact the game in any way. There was no attacking threat by Dalot. There were not, I don't remember many good crosses coming in from Dalot as well. So I would give Dalot a 6 because it was just average. For Maguire, I would give Maguire a 6. It was average, and in the first half, a couple of times he did get turnover, but then he recovered well. So yeah, Maguire, I would give him a 6. And then he came off at halftime, so I wouldn't know how his second half would have gone if he would have played. But yeah, Mazraoui here is 6.8, but I would also give Mazraoui a 6 again because again there were not many attacking play. He took there was a wild cross that he did from way outside the box and they just like sailed over. It was nowhere near an accurate cross. So I don't think Mazraoui was up to the mark today. I think he was playing maybe with a knock, maybe. But any which ways, that's Mazraoui. Again a 6. Eriksen, I think, had a decent game. I mean, he got a yellow card in the 3rd minute of the game, and then overall he played the entire 90 minutes and he did not put another foot wrong to get a red card. So yeah, I think overall Eriksen is maybe a 6.2 or a 6.3. Menu, again, he worked really hard, workhorse. I can't expect much from Menu to get a control of the midfield if there is Eriksen next to him. If there was Ugarte or Casemiro, I can maybe expect more from Menu because then he can cover a lot more of the area while Casemiro and Ugarte sit back and protect the back four. So yeah, I think Menu got lost somewhere because that's not his ideal position. He can't be the only holding midfielder that we play with. So yeah, that's just unfair on the kid. So I would give him same as Eriksen, a 6.3. And Rashford, if I come to Rashford was looking lively. At the beginning, he was taking on the defenders, and before he got subbed out as well, he was trying to take on Muddy Cash and stuff. But yeah, I think Rashford's game overall was again average. There was nothing to get excited about. He did a couple of silly fouls, but then it was at least good to see him track back. But I think when he got the yellow card, that was not needed, and it was out of spite. And he was very lucky to not get a red, because just after he got the yellow card, within a couple of minutes, he again sticks his leg out for a silly tackle, and the ref came in and just warned him, and Ten Hag after that immediately took him off. So yeah, I think Rashford was lucky to not get a red, but then again, average performance, 6 is what I would give Rashford, maybe a 5.8, but yeah, I would give him a 6. Bruno, again, he took a good free kick, it hit the bar, came out, and then Anthony tried to take a shot on the volley when the ball got bounced back from the bar, and that landed right in the hands of Martinez, I think. So yeah, Bruno, being our attacking midfielder, being one of the star players of the team, being our captain, being an undroppable member of the team, for him to not score a goal, and this was our 7th game of the season, and for him to not score a single goal in 7 games in the Premier League is really worrying me, because Bruno's form of the past 3 to 4 games has not been up to the mark at all. And for him to get red cards back to back, yes, the red card in the Spurs got overdone, but then he got another red versus Porto, 2 yellows. So yeah, something is wrong with Bruno. He's not fitting really well. I don't know if it's mentally wrong with him, or if he's just not feeling the games right now, or if he just needs a break. If he just needs a break, just play Eriksen there and just put in Casemiro or Ugarte in Eriksen's place, because Bruno did not impact the game again in any way which was possible. He was running around a lot. He was trying to press the ball a lot. He was trying to put a lot of pressure on the goalkeepers a lot, on the goalkeeper a lot. But other than that, there was nothing else to his game. So here at 7.1, I would give Bruno a 6 still. So yeah, that's an average performance. Garnacho, I expected a bit more from him. To be honest, I thought that Garnacho maybe was a bit unlucky that the majority of the play was coming down through the left side. he was not getting much of the ball, I don't think, and his reactions and his shot taking decisions that he was taking from outside the box and stuff, I don't think that's really needed. Højlund was not being played in at all. Højlund again was in a dead shift because there was not many crosses that came to him. There were not many through balls that came to him. There were not many passes that came to him. He had to be more of a holding striker for a long ball and then wait for your wingers to come in for support rather than him being able to attack. Be on the attack and attack the goal. I don't remember Højlund taking any shots. I'm not sure. I'll just check after this if Højlund took any shots or not. But yeah, here it's 6. I think I'm going to give Højlund a 6 as well. There was no impact by Højlund for this game as well. So yeah, I think overall that's the rating that I will be giving for all of these players. Now if we look at the subs here, so Lindelof came on, did well at right back. I don't see Lindelof as a full back, but he did well, so I would give him a 6. Again, not much of an impact. He tried to play a through ball into the attack, didn't really land for him. So yeah, I think it's just average 6. And then you have Zirkzee, no impact again whatsoever. A couple of headers while defending. That's it. So I would give Zirkzee maybe a 5.58 because there was nothing really that he was doing much that would make the substitution justifiable. De Ligt came in and did really well. I thought he should have started. I gave Johnny Evans a 6.5, so I will give De Ligt a 6.2 because I think he was our second best central defender. I think he was better than Maguire when De Ligt came on. Made a couple of really crucial tackles as well. Anthony took a couple of shots, not really much from Garnacho, not any much difference from Garnacho. Even after Garnacho moved to the left and he was on the right after Rashford's substitution. Excuse me. Not very much. Not much of a change any which ways. I don't think. So yeah, Anthony, I would give him a 6, an average 6. And Casemiro, I think Casemiro's coming in was needed. It was good that it was Menu, but it was in the 84th minute or something. So it really doesn't count. It's almost like Menu did play 90 minutes and Casemiro then just came on and just teed the game off. And by the way, that referee's walkie-talkie's battery running out. Like, the refs should understand the player's plight, right? Because you are adding 10 minutes additional to every game towards the end of the game. You have brought this rule wherein every stoppage is counted to the team. And then when the stoppage happens because of a ref's backup battery failing for some reason, and then a guy has to run all the length of the field to bring in the battery, that is just stupid. You are letting players cool down because that took more than 4.5-5 minutes for the ref to sort it out. And it's just and players are waiting for a free kick to come in, and then the players lose concentration, their bodies cool down, they need to stay active, all of that. This is just unnecessary. I don't think, again, it's a technical issue, but I think there should be spare batteries or spare walkies kept near the goal line. Why? I don't know why we are playing like we are playing in the early 2000s or something. Like, the technology is much more advanced. We can have backup ready even if we don't need it. So yeah, any which ways, that was a bit irritating towards the end. But yeah, I think that was the only actionable thing that happened. That was the only time the crowds were either booing or cheering, because nothing else really happened. No shots felt like, oh, it almost went in. No shot felt like, no pass felt like that's an amazing pass over the ball, over the defenders' heads and stuff. There was no run, a pacey run or something like that. There was nothing really to look in the game, to be honest. So maybe the ref's battery was the only talk of the town and only interesting thing that happened in this particular game. But anyways, that was the overall rating that I gave. And overall, I think Manchester United, I would give a rating of 6. And for Erik ten Hag, I will give him a rating of 5. I think he did below average. He didn't really, I don't think he chose the right starting lineup. I think his ego needs to come down, to be honest. He needs to look more about winning the game than putting players in their places. And I think his attitude towards the players, I think, needs to improve so that we can win a few games. I mean, I'm sick and tired of seeing us lose. I'm going to open our last 5 matches streak, but yeah, anyways. Coming to the few of other stats, possession, it was almost even. Villa had more, 54%. We had 45%. 46%. So it's pretty much on the balance there. Pass success again pretty much the same, 83, 81. Dribbles, aerials 1, tackles. Again, these are just stats. Doesn't really make too much of a difference, but again, it's a stat. So yeah, we'll let that be. So anyways, coming to the I just wanted to see the shots and who took these shots as well. So right, is it visible? Yes, it's visible. Right, so these are all the shots that the red are the shots that in blue, I think. Yeah, the blue are the shots that Manchester United had taken. It's a bit towards the left of the screen, but that's okay. I think it's visible enough. All right, so let's look at the Garnacho took 3 shots, but all the 3 shots were from impossible angles. Nothing really that would make me feel like he had a chance to score. There was one save that Martinez did, good save, tipping it over the bar. But apart from that, there was nothing really that surprised me, Garnacho. But see, all of his shots came from the left wing position and not from the right wing position. Right wing, we were just not making use of our right wing for some reason. And after Garnacho, it was Rashford who took the most amount of shots. Then again from the left side, and again one from outside the box and one from Bray outside the 6 yards box. So yeah, I don't think either of them had a chance to get into the goal. Anthony, when he came on, he took a couple of shots, but both from outside the box. So all 3 of our forwards did take shots from always outside the box. Any which ways, Menu took one from outside the box, and Bruno took one as well outside the box. This was the free kick which hit the bar. So yeah, that's the only shot that he took. He did, apart from the free kick, Bruno did not have any other shot in the game apparently. So yeah, that's the state of our attacking midfield right now. And Evans should be I think was a header or something from a corner. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a disaster. This is such mediocrity. I have nothing to say, to be honest. But any which ways, let's look at the table and look at where we are at. And as you can see, we are 14th, and in our last 5 games, we have drawn 4 and lost 1. Wow. Just wow. I think that graphic is all that is needed to sum up Manchester United right now, and how we fans are just okay with mediocrity right now, because there's nothing we can do. We can rant all we want, we can complain all we want, Ten Hag outers can have the banners out all they want, we can just create as much ruckus online as we want, but the truth is, if the team and the manager are not putting in a performance wherein we are able to convert our draws into wins and losses into draws, then we are going to be nowhere near the top teams any which ways. And I am really worrying for Ten Hag, to be honest, because if you look at this, these last 5 games, Palace we could have won and it in a draw. Twente we should have won and it in a draw. Your Tottenham was a disaster of a performance. We deserve to lose that. Porto should have won. We were 2-0 up, and then somehow we ended up drawing the game 3-3. And then Villa, again, lackluster performance altogether. So overall, nothing really that is exciting for Ten Hag or the team. And if you see here, our points total is 8. And the top 4, Chelsea, is in the 4th position, 6 points away from us. Villa is in the 5th position, 6 points away from us. And the Liverpool are 10 points ahead of us, and we are 7 games in already. That's almost a fifth of the games played almost. This is just so disappointing to see that we are sharing the table rank with West Ham, Bournemouth, and following us are Leicester and Everton, relegation teams who are fighting to survive relegation. And this is so crazy. Like Ipswich is closer to us than we to Aston Villa. Like, this is crazy. If you just look at the table, Ipswich is closer to us than we to Aston Villa. Like, this is insane. Like, Newcastle are not having a good run of form. Spurs are not having a good run of form. But even they are at least in the top 10. Newcastle is in the 7th position with 12 points, and we're in 8 points. I have no idea. 14th, I think I don't know. I haven't gone back and checked the stats or checked our record, but I think I think 14th after 7 games has to be the worst start of our season, because I will be surprised if we had a worse start to a season, to a Premier League season. I very honestly, I don't know. This is just very shameful. Like, I don't even want to look at the table anymore, because this is just shameful. This is just, I feel like my blood boiling right now, but I can't do much about it any which ways. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for my reaction against Aston Villa's performance of Manchester United. Let's look at what our next games are, and maybe then we can close it off. So our next game is a Premier League game against Brentford, which is going to be on the 19th. So there's going to be a break now, a couple of weeks of break. I don't know what Manchester United can do overall with in this break that we have gotten, and hopefully we can do something with it. But any which way, so I also wanted to quickly check the XG stats for Manchester United, to be honest. So in the Premier League, we do have an XG of 11, 10.96, and our goals scored are just 5. This is not how Manchester United should perform, to be honest. Yeah. Anyways, to close it off, this is exactly the our form right now, wherein mediocre is the name of the game for Manchester United, and we are mediocre FC, and I don't know how we will revive this season, to be honest, and I don't know how Ten Hag saves his job, to be honest, this season. But yeah, that's pretty much it about my reaction. So let's come back. All right, so excuse me. So overall, I think it's a pretty much of a disastrous start for Manchester United. I don't think there could have been anything that we could have done more, and in terms of the reaction is what I'm talking about. And when we talk about the match, I think all our matches have been disappointing in the last 5 games. The Barnsley match sold us hope, and after that, the remainder of the 5 matches has taken all our hopes away, all my hopes away at least. I have no idea where I see Manchester United at the end of the season, but as of now, things are not looking good for Manchester United. Things are not looking good for Ten Hag, I don't think, and things are not looking good for a few players as well. I don't know what Ineos can do, and I don't know what Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Dave Brailsford and the CEO Omar Berrada wants to do with Manchester United as a club. But I'm sure that this was not on their prediction and their tarot card. It was not. Like, when the season started, as a fan, I was so excited. Things seemed to be a bit more positive. We did good movement in the transfer market. It felt like they did a review, then they backed Ten Hag. We won the FA Cup, and it just felt like we were carrying a bit of a positive momentum into the new season, and all of that momentum has been sucked away by this beautiful team performance that we are putting up every single time, and it's really upsetting to me as a fan. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it about my reaction. Now there is no more matches coming in the next couple of weeks, so I think I'm going to be doing a few other videos, maybe plan it accordingly. But overall, I want to dive a bit more deeper about how the team is performing. So maybe I might do a bit of a deep dive comparing our season starts. I think 7 games in the past few seasons, and then we can actually assess how Ten Hag has actually started. There was a stat that came up on Twitter, wherein Ten Hag's I think this is the worst start under Ten Hag as well. So yeah, I just want to do a bit more analysis and see how we fare, and maybe do that as a midweek video and stream and see where we go from there. But yeah, that's been it. If you are watching this, let me know what your feelings are. If you're a Manchester United fan, what's your thoughts? Are you Ten Hag in? Are you Ten Hag out? Are you disgusted with the team performance? Are you celebrating the draw? Are you angry with the draw, or are you just indifferent about the draw? How do you feel about the team right now? Put it down in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe this to my channel as well. That'll be hugely helpful. This is Streamatrix, where we discuss everything football, everything Manchester United. And coming up next is the stream of EA FC 25, my Manchester United career mode. where we can hopefully get a lot more wins and just make Manchester United a bit more exciting to look at and play. So yeah, I think I'm going to be pushing you guys to that stream, and let me see how I can do that. Okay, so I'm going to be ending the stream now, and just immediately in a couple of minutes I'm going to be starting my EFC 25 stream. That's going to be live on YouTube. Yep, and if you're on Twitch, watching me on Twitch, we'll just be back in like a couple of minutes and start our Manchester United career mode. So yeah, see you guys very, very shortly. Until then, if you're joining me for the FC25 stream, I'm going to see you there. Otherwise, I'm going to see you in my next video. Take care, and see you very soon.